Cox versus, I'm sorry to say, an opponent who I am not familiar with. Cox, the taller of the two boxers, and he is in the blue tunic. His opponent wearing the red. Sorry, wearing the black and white boxing trunks. Cox is basically toying with his food right now. Cat and mouse here. Working his jab to FX, maximizing his reach. Is Cox. His opponent choosing to stay on the outside with Cox, not necessarily the smart. Oh, there he's tries to make an effort to come in and close the gap. Yes, fighting on the outside, not necessarily the best strategy against Cox, who is clearly who clearly has the advantage of reach. Cox leading with the cross. Now with a hook. His opponent keeping his gloves up and tight, so most of those punches are landing to the glove. Not okay. That was a hook to the ear. That must have stung. Cox crouching and moving forward. His opponent now working his way in. He's in close. He should be working the body. Yes, he does work the body. And body hedge combination. Nice from his opponent. Cox returns, hook to the head, and then follows with a body, liver shot, and then the right hook. Nice exchange between the two athletes. Okay. Staying tight and exchanging. Nice body shot on the liver side again from Cox. Those shots to the liver do have their effect and have the ability to really wear the opponent down and shut the body down as well. This is a rather slow exchange, um, relative to the size of the opponent. You're on the lighter side, so you would expect to see a bit more action in terms of your solid right hand from top, doubled up with the right body shot. Cox is purposeful and deliberate in his execution of his attacks. End of round number two of exhibition bout. Times, doubling up, using his cross like a jab as well. Just working his way. So confident with his reach. He's slipping through the guard of Lake. Lake continues to keep a tight guard, moving his head, trying to avoid the speed and the reach of Cox. He needs to be busier, Lake. Now he works in, gets his head to the chest, and he starts to work with the body shot. Oh, up to the head, does he lands. Now he works two jab cross to the body, followed by a hook to the head, does Lake. Cox is not flustered at all. He's taking his time and returning. There he, Cox, you saw with a flurry, uppercut to the follows. Now he's working body shot on his right hand to the body, his top, Lake returning a left hook. Cox puts himself in the corner so confidently, these hands down, and he worked it. Jab to the body, followed by a hook to the head. Now he works it again. Cox just taking his time, playing with his food, one would say, like a cat to a mouse. When an athlete can drop both his hands when he's boxing, it shows a disdain for his opponent. He's so confident in his ability and the inability of his opponent to harm him that he can basically just drop his hands without concern. Like though making a valiant attempt, guard up, still in the game, s- still willing to engage. There's a clacker, 10 seconds left in its final round. And Lake works with a very body head, answered by Pop. And they get the final exchange. Body that of the Pop in the red. Changes pretty upstairs and down, going upstairs and then downstairs sometimes. Sometimes he'll put that hook to the head and then work the body. Oh, there's a right body shot. There, left body shot. And you can hear the sting of those punches as Cox executes. Of course, Cox is also not only the taller but the heavier of the two punchers, the two boxers. So his punches carry more weight, and it's definitely being felt by Lake. Lake is very defensive, too defensive, I would say, and Cox's confidence is building as a result. Since he's not really receiving a return from Lake, Cox can advance forward and continues to work that body. Lake moving his head, get closer. Cox trying to work on the inside, but he's not having much success. Cox continues to work the head and body. Right now, his focus is on the body's working. That right body hook to left body hook combination. Now he goes back upstairs, 1-2. Jab cross. Really not seeing much of a response from Lake. That was a borderline punch hook to the body. Oh, hooking just on the belt line. Referee might give a caution to Cox if he's not careful for punching below the belt. Cox really working the body there, Blake. I think not really too much. And again, that lead leg is starting to straighten, a sign of fatigue on the part of the boxer. Start to see those legs move and happening to Blake. Yeah, Cox toying, not really putting anything behind his punches, but just showing that he could, if he wished to, really do some damage to Cox. Oh, the legs are lit. Feeling a bit more energetic, coming back with a double hook to the head. Next thing, and that is end. Sorry, round number 4. That is now the end of the exhibition bout. Wait, 16, 8, definitely the more active block and positive skill. 15th edition, been brought to you by the Barbados Boxing Association on, of course, the sunny and beautiful island of Barbados. I am 'Interesting matchup because Roberts is the more mature. He's 6 years of age, and he'll be going up against a 20-year-old Avishai Jean Baptiste. Of course, this is Avishai's debut professional bout. Well, Roberts has 10 professional bouts under his belt. So we will be looking forward to see how this event fares. Again, ringside referee, our referee for the bout, Curtis, the Killer Miller, former professional boxer and national champion, and he will be presiding over the first professional bout. Okay, so we are having 4 round professional bouts this evening. Again, the first bout is a super lightweight professional bout. Gardell Roberts versus Abishai John Baptiste. John Baptiste, this will be his debut professional bout. He's testing the waters as a professional. Of course, with the new rulings established for boxing, amateur boxers can maintain amateur status and compete also at the professional level um, based on their fight records. So we do have amateurs now stepping up to compete in the professional ranks while maintaining the ability to compete as well as the amateur level.
Boxing for 3 minute rounds, professional boxing.
These rounds are 3 minute duration, and the athletes are contesting 4 rounds. Gardell Roberts will be coming out of the red corner, Abishai John Baptiste, the blue corner. Abishai again is from the Four Hill Gym. His coach, Coach Frederick Field, and Gardell Roberts, the Carrington Village Gym. His coach, Michael Pittman. We're just awaiting the athletes entering the ring. As we said before, Abishai John Baptiste, this will be his debut bout, but Abishai is a product of the 2022 Ohana Gloves Over Guns project, and he's had a pretty impressive record so far as an amateur.
And now,
He's a OECS gold medalist and a Caribbean schoolboy silver medalist,
no
and he's had
to the ring.
uh 10 amateur
He's an
bouts
experienced campaigner in
so
the
far.
professional arena across the region and internationally. This is the super lightweight category. In your red corner, Garnell Roberts.
Our MC announcing the athletes to the ring. First up, Gardell Roberts, hailing from Guyana, and he'll be coming to the red corner. Gardell has 10 professional bouts under his belt, more experience and also more mature. So we will see if experience will overcome youth, right? If experience or will youth overcome age? Gardell, 46 years of age, versus the younger John Baptiste, 20 years old. One athlete has 10 professional bouts, the other 10 amateur bouts under his belt. And we're gonna be serenaded up. Harder they come, harder they fall. I believe that's Peter Tosh and an appropriate tune for tonight's event. And walking into the arena right now, Gardell Robert, accompanied by Coach Ali and Coach Pittman. Robert entering the ring on the red corner. He's wearing uh he's wearing camouflage trunks in the I would say earth tone camouflage trunks. And out of the red corner, wearing red gloves.
Victory for our expert. When year prospect in pro match in corner, Abishai Tip John Baptiste.
Now waiting the entry of Abishai Jean Baptiste, hailing from Barbados, fighting out of the Four Hill Gym. Abishai has had a pretty successful amateur career, having had 10 bouts and earning the OECS gold medal And the Caribbean schoolboy silver medal. He is wearing yellow trunks and carrying the blue gloves. So we have experience versus youth. Gardel Roberts of Guyana versus Abishai John Baptiste. I say
For the
Abishai, some say
females,
Abishai.
this fight will start on the call of in-ring referee Curtis Miller.
4 rounds, 3 minute duration, 1 minute rest in between. Or referee for tonight, Curtis the Killer Miller, former professional boxer and Barbados national champion. Coach for John Baptiste, Frederick Fields. And there is the start of the bell for the start of the first round. Athletes crouching, gauging their range. Abishai, head movement, making sure he's not leaving his head in one place. Full guard. Gardel seems to be shifting between the full and the half guard. And there's a solid right landing on the shoulder, thrown by John Baptiste. Gardel Roberts still finding his time and timing and rhythm. Abishai switching to a southpaw stance, matching the Roberts. Roberts a natural southpaw. There in a solid right hand to the middle that takes Roberts to the canvas. More a slip than a knockdown. Referee does not count. Roberts leading with the jab. Not too heavy on the punches yet. Just trying to find his distance. Abishai maintaining a good tight upper guard. Cross jab combination, missing the cross but landing with a jab. Returned by Gardel with a jab, followed by an attempt on the body hook, just glancing off the elbow of John Baptiste. Athletes, first round of the fight, athlete boxers are just finding their way, taking their time. Charged by athletes, not quite effectively landing anything on that. But there you go. Double hook that land solid. Roberts on the rope. And there's an attempted return. Johnson. Johnson. Head went out working on the overwhelmed Roberts at this point. Roberts still maintaining his composure, tightening up his guard. Athletes move around the center of the ring. There's the jab. 3, 4 successful jabs from Roberts. Not carrying much weight behind him, however. And John Baptiste returning a more solid punch in the return. Athletes are wearing 8-ounce boxing gloves, so these these punches are going to be felt. Jab from Roberts, jab again, on the high line, doubling up on the jab. Okay, Roberts taking his time to feel out with the jab, follow with a cross hook, but didn't quite land there. Another cross hook combination, not quite finding its mark, glancing off the shoulder. John Baptiste returns to his corner. He opts to stand. Roberts takes the stool. Athletes are receiving their instruction from their coaches. Overall, a pretty good exchange at the start. Abishai, John Baptiste, uh, definitely the heavier of the two boxers in terms of the power of the punches. But Gardel still holding his own and peppering with the jab. Still a ways to go in the bout. 3 more rounds to go. So it can be anybody's fight. I think I'd give a slight advantage to John Baptiste at this moment. And there's the start of the second round. Both athletes starting out in the southpaw stand. Abhishek lunging in with his jab. There's a clinch, and the referee calls the break. Athlete step back and look to re-engage. Again, Gardel working his jab. Abhishek working that right hook, but glancing off the shoulder. Recalls break as the athletes come close to the cliff. Again, Roberts working his jab, doubling up. Right hook from Abhishek, landing to the body. Full hook cross combination. Cautioning John Baptiste. Take a step back on the break call before exchanging. There's a lot more head movement coming from John Baptiste, making it more difficult for Roberts to find his mark. Roberts, however, is a bit more flat and not as much movement of his head, which makes it a little easier. Okay, there was a jab from John Baptiste that landed. Gardell returned for right hook to the body. Exchange of jab, nobody really having any clearance. Exchange of Baptiste. Now switch to the orthodox stance, left foot forward. Robert, oh, nice right hand from Abhishek landing. Roberts trying, still working, find his distance with the jab. Not much more coming from him than that. He needs to maybe work on getting more combinations off, but still seems to be finding his distance. Okay, 1-2-1 combination from John Baptiste. Robert swinging, but not finding his mark and losing his balance from a punch that was thrown by John Baptiste. Very heavy punches throwing from John Baptiste, but he's missing and it's throwing him off balance. Something that Dale Roberts should take advantage of. A good 1-2 combination to the body from Roberts. That was a hook, lead and rear hook to the body. Abhishek jumping into range, throwing his hand, a little choked up because of lack of control of range. Nice right left hand, rear left from Robert. Then landing with a jab at the end of that round with a couple of hooks that seemed to hit the arm and not finding the body. End of round number 2. Again, pretty good exchange from both boxers, but again, the work rate of John Baptiste is higher than that of Roberts, so uh, he has certainly an advantage in that regard, and he also seems to be a little cleaner in terms of landing his shots. Roberts' greatest success seems to be coming off of that jab, uh, but he needs to be more active in terms of the number of punches he throws. He is scoring, but he's not necessarily scoring enough to take the round away from John Baptiste. Gardell Roberts starts with a jab, another jab answered by John Baptiste. John Baptiste work to the body, left hook there that by Roberts that clipped John Baptiste, and back to the jab goes Roberts, working his way in. Oh, solid right hook from Avishai John Baptiste. He switched back now to the southpaw stance. I think this change in stance might be a little confusing for Robert, throwing him off game, but he has to adjust. Back to orthodox, back to southpaw goes John Baptiste, and there goes Roberts working to the head and then the body. Avishai working solid punches, but again, He needs to take his time and pick his shot more so he's more effective and does more damage. Abhishek is throwing power punches, but they're more hitting the guard than targeting the body, than landing to the body. Just need to relax and work. I think if he relaxes more and takes his time with his shots, he'll be more successful. Again, Roberts working his way back to with the jab. There's a left front to the body from Roberts. Again, a left to the body, followed by a right. Abhishek returning. Now he's worked the body, and then up to the head. Landed with the right. Difficult to tell if it was a cross or a jab since he switched leads, but landed successfully nonetheless. Roberts working is a bit wide with his hook. He needs to tighten up. I think a little tighter with his hooks, he'll have more success. Okay, that was a left hook to the body, right hook to the head from Roberts. Abhishek now bringing on the pressure, taking Roberts to the ropes. And solid right hand, right hook to the head. Solid, found it smart, but he was so committed he could not follow up after he landed. There was a overhand left. Referee calls for hitting to the back of the head. Roberts goes to the body, hooks with the hooks. Then jab again. A nice left hook, right body hook combination from Roberts. Abhishek answering with the jab. There he goes again. Body with the hook. But again, swing a bit wide is Roberts. I think if he tightens up again, he'll have more success. Now Abhishek is working body and head, combining the hook to the body with the right cross. And there is the bell for the end of the third round. A good exchange. I think a better performance this round from Gardell Roberts as he upped his tempo and upped the pace of his punches, starting to put the body shots behind his jab, working with lead and rear body hook after his jab, and having a greater deal of success there. If he tightens up, I think he will land more squarely. Abhishek, on the other hand, working head and body with this combination, really working for the power, which reduced his output as he had to recover balance. So his shots were coming more in singles than in combinations this time around, but effective nevertheless in terms of finding their mark. And this is now the fourth and final round of the bout. Gardell leads with the jab. Solid right hand from John Baptiste, followed by another right that didn't quite land, but that first one did do some damage. A bit more pushing coming from John Baptiste when gets in close. He needs to focus a little bit more on punching, I think, than to work with the clinch action. His success is greater coming and punching from a distance. Okay. Mouthpiece referee calls break for Robert to put his mouth guard in. There again, Robert's working combination, jab followed by the body hook. Abhishek seems to be uh, depending a lot on a solid right hook, putting a lot of weight behind it, but it's not always finding its mark. I think you need to set it up with preliminary punches. Again, Roberts working his jab. Oh, there's the left hook followed by that right hook. Bit more successful there, and a solid right body hook. And perfect fighting it out of the clinch. Nothing quite happened then. Referee calls break, and then a return to the right hand going back off balance. Abhishek on the rope. Robert should take advantage. There's a left body hook. Robert seems to be losing steam. He is landing punches, but with not much effect. Abhishek still heavy on his punches. Jab cross to the body by Abhishek John Baptiste. Oh, nice body shift by Roberts to avoid that. But John Baptiste landed again with a straight right. Both athletes now in a southpaw stand. Okay. Abhishek switches back to orthodox control to the right. Oh, solid right hook landed by John Baptiste at the end of his flurry. Think that rocked Robert, but he did not take full advantage. Sees blood in the mouth of Robert after that exchange. That is the end of that bout. Athletes hug each other, sign of respect. That was a very encouraging first professional bout. Gardell Roberts of Guyana in the red corner versus Abishai John Baptiste of Barbados in the blue corner. Again, Gardell Roberts, hailing out of the Keratin Village Gym, coached by Michael Pittman. Abishai John Baptiste, Four Hill Gym, coached by Frederick Field. We're awaiting the official decision of the judges. I suspect, however, that this bout will go the way of John Baptiste. So it will be a successful first debut for the young 20-year-old athlete. Again, John Baptiste is a graduate of the 2022 Ohana Guns Over Guns project. He's had a pretty successful amateur career.
And the
The
fourth,
OECS,
or
being an
first
OECS gold
pro
medalist,
fight of
the
the
Caribbean
night.
boys still silver medalist.
In a fight,
This is his
that
first
is showing
professional bout,
the
but
old
he's had
Gardell
10 amateur
versus the
bouts
new.
preceding this. Gardell Roberts,
Gardell
no
judges
stranger to the ring.
others
The 46-year-old
in the
has
red
10
corner,
professional
going up
bouts
against
under his
Abhishek
belt.
John Baptiste in the blue corner.
Our referee for this bout was Curtis Miller.
Will the old guard win emerge, take the baton and move on with professional boxing?
Roberts still in the blue gloves. Abhishek John Baptiste in the, sorry, Roberts in the red gloves. Baptiste in the blue gloves.
After this bout, tips for you.
To the hail of the crowd, Abhishek John Baptiste, who now moves to a record of 1-0 as a professional, raising the Barbados flag as he wins I assume, a unanimous points decision against Gardell Roberts of Guyana. Abhishek, the 20-year-old graduate of the 2022 Ohana Gloves Over Guns project, has won his debut professional bout versus against Gardell Roberts of Guyana. And we can continue to look forward to positive things from this 20-year-old athlete. He has many more years ahead of him
Before we begin,
that we can look forward to.
first ball ended with Abhishek John Baptiste getting the unanimous decision.
And confirmed it was a unanimous points decision for Abhishek John Baptiste of Four Hills Gym versus Gardell Roberts of the Carrington Village Gym. Gardell Roberts hails from Guyana. Abhishek John Baptiste from Barbados. You are
All right, from
at live at the Gordon Taylor Secondary School for the Horace Phillips Memorial Tournament,
first
15th edition, being hosted by the Barbados Boxing Association.
one of our past boxing champions, Shaka Henry. If you can make your way to the ring, please, to make the presentation of the Best Boxer Award.
Now there is a call for the amateur athletes to come forward
You can see the trophy
so that the Best Boxer Award, Best Boxer Trophy can be awarded to the amateur who, in the opinion of the officials, gave the best performance of the night. Who will it be? Will it be Nathan Thomas? Will it be Liam Russell? Will it be Andre Stout? Will it be Wayne Clark? Or will it be Peter Murray? That is the question. All five of these athletes won their bouts.
All right, we have our Best Boxer Award.
Four of them won by
Shaka
point.
Henry.
Nathan
The
Thomas of course,
presentation.
won
And
by
the Best Boxer
RSC
Award goes
in
to
the fourth round. And there you have it. Peter Murray receiving the Best Boxer Award for the night. Peter Murray having won his bout against Jaheim
This event.
light middleweight division, 70 kilograms. And he is to receive the Best Boxer Award from another former champion, Christopher Shaka Henry.
You will notice. Well, amateur.
Peter presented by professional boxing champion Christopher Shaka Henry.
Judge number one for the next fight. Judge number one is
Sea Caribbean welterweight champion. Now we're awaiting the commencement of the second professional bout of the evening. It's a cruiserweight bout. Daniel William of Zen Life Gym versus Tyrese Holder of Four Hill Gym. Both athletes, 23 years of age. William having a 8 amateur bouts under his belt. Tyrese Holder having 6 amateur bouts under his belt. This is a debut professional bout for both athletes, but it will not be the first time they are meeting each other. They have come up against each other on 2 occasions, each winning 1 bout. So this will be a deciding bout between the two to see who is indeed the more dominant boxer and how fitting is it that it will be a professional bout. Williams has 2 wins and 5 losses under his belt, while Holder has 4 wins, 2 losses. 3 of his wins, however, came by way of knockout. In the three has 3 KOs, 2 of which occurred in the first round. So we can imagine that he is quite a heavy puncher, Tyrese Holder, quite a heavy hitter with 3 KOs out of his 6 bouts, 2 ending within the first round. He's going up against Daniel Williams of Den Like Gym, and Daniel has 8 amateur bouts under his belt. We're looking forward to the commencement of this, the second professional bout of the evening. And of course, this is a debut professional bout for both athletes. Both athletes 23 years of age. Again, these bouts are 4 rounds, 3 minutes duration, and of course, there is a 1 minute rest period between each round.
Fighting the
Jim, he's coming out in the blue corner. Century. William is a Zen like Jim, his coach, Ronald Alves. Williams sporting black trunks with a lightning bolt on the left leg. Note the professional bout. The athletes are not required, of course, to wear headgear, as was the requirement for the open boxers or the novice boxers in the amateur divisions. This is a cruiserweight bout. So these are some heavy hitters that we can expect. Now we're awaiting the entry, the arrival of his opponent, Tyrese Holder. Tonight's card.
But
I'm making by Frederick Fields of the Four Hill Gym. And we have a WBC certified referee for this bout. They go with the transition from amateur to professional. Our referee for this event is WBC certified Ian Jardine. Okay. A quick recap of the evening events so far. Bout number one, lightweight amateur competition. Nathan Thomas of National Gym versus Ordell Nicholas of Dow Gym. That bout was won by Nathan Thomas as the referee stopped the contest in the third round, having administered a fourth standing eight count during the bout. Bout number two, welterweight bout, Joel Hall of Four Hill Gym versus Liam Ruckle of Fight Lab. That was a point decision in favor of Liam Russell. Bout number three, heavyweight bout, Andre Stout of Four Hill Gym versus Zachary Proverbs Harris of Fight Lab. That bout was won on point by Andre Stout. Bout number four, light heavyweight bout, Ashan Miller of Zen Life Gym versus
Final
Ian
call
Clark
for
of
the
Four Hill Gym.
fourth
And that was won by
calling the
Clark
ring.
on points decision.
Tyrants. Turtle. Holding.
Bout number 5, light middleweight bout. Peter Murray of National Gym versus Jaheem Esmick of Four Hill Gym. And that bout was won on points decision by Murray, Peter Murray. Those were our 5 amateur bouts of the evening. And then our first professional bout, a super lightweight bout, Gardell Roberts of Guyana versus Abishai John Baptiste of Barbados, was won by John Baptiste on unanimous points decision. Roberts, I should mention, hails from the Carrington Village Gym. Abishai John Baptiste from the Four Hill Gym. And I would like to say that we always see a very well supported event by the Four Hill Gym and Coach Frederick Field. Always been a high stable of athletes. And now stepping into the ring is Tyrese Holder into the blue corner with his entourage from the Four Hill Gym, his coach, Frederick Field. Tyrese is wearing red trunks, but remember, he's coming out of the blue
Four
corner.
rounds of boxing in the weight category.
Our referee, Ian Jurdy
Versus
of the World Boxing Council, WBC certified referee. Interesting. Yeah, the jab, with a jab of his own. Athletes playing, firing, moving around. With the southpaw and very straight left with a straight left. William answering with a jab, but not quite finding the mark. And then he goes down to the body. Pull the answers. Left cross from Holder. Answer with a right hook to the body from William. Clean landed right jab from Holder. Head movement there from William. And he answers with a 1-2. Okay. Body hook cross from Colin. Answered by a body shot with William. Answered by Holder with a 1-2. The athletes are both still in a feeling out stage, trying to get their bearings and range, looking for the opening. Okay, there was a nice body cross from Holder with a body shift and then a 1-2 return. Again, straight left, fighting its way between the middle to more to the chest and face, and a left uppercut landed by Holder. William throwing the right but falling short. Right, short right hook from Holder. Working his way through the middle with the cross his Holder. Williams working his way into range, trying to walk Holder down, get him in onto the rope, and then you have right uppercut, left jab, right jab, sorry, left jab, right uppercut, left jab from Williams that landed. Right strong, landed cleanly on the chin of Holder. Holder shaking his head, saying, "He didn't do me anything." Sorry. What a clear and then back full shot to end, and then coming, bringing an end to that that first round. Okay, athletes return to their corner for instruction from the referee. William taking deep breaths, holding up seemingly too flustered. See what advice they would have received from their coaches during the rest period and how effectively they're able to apply it to their game plan. A pretty healthy exchange between both athletes. Borderland scoring very effectively with his straight left. Well, out of the southpaw. I think the right uppercut probably the most effective tool for William at this. William with a right hook to the body, keeping having hold on the ropes. Yeah, Tyrese shifting between the full and half guard. So to Williams. Williams throwing a solid right hook, but missing the mark. Jab the rear hook from Holder. Both athletes taking their time, not being too overly anxious. Jab exchange of a left jab by Williams. That landed to the jaw of Williams. Answered, however, right away by a body shot hook from Williams. Jabs coming from Holder. Head movement entering a body shot by Williams. Holder favoring the jab. I think the left needs to return to that left cross. There it is. Left cross slipping through the guard. Left uppercut for Williams. Not quite finding the spot. Right cross. Finding his range. Looking for that spot. There it is. The left hand slipping through the guard again. His hold. Two combination. Jab by a rear hook. Landed. Second rear hook, however, missed the mark. And Holder working his jab, following with the straight left. That straight left is working for him. He needs to use it more. lead with it, and then follow with a right hook maybe. Williams working the body and uppercut. Overhand left from Williams, who is now, sorry, yeah, from Williams, who switched to southpaw stance as well. Both athletes working on the southpaw stance this time. Head movement from Williams to avoid the jab and shoulder. So right body shot from Williams. Right hook to the head by Holder. Holder back to the jab. Work the rear hook. Didn't quite find its mark, but followed peppered with a couple of right hooks. And landing to the shoulder. End of bout number 2. A fairly good exchange by both athletes. Nobody with a clear advantage there, in my opinion. Holder seemed to, for a while, have deserted his left cross, which was working successfully for him in the first round, but he came back to it toward the latter part of that round and had more success. Williams seems to be more successful with his hooks, particularly when he works the body, and he's also continuing to work that uppercut, the right uppercut in particular. So a pretty even exchange between the two athletes. No one having a clear advantage at this moment, in my opinion. And we're about to commence the third round. Both athletes coming up the corner, both in a southpaw position, both southpaw stand. Okay, heavier jabs coming now from Holder, followed by an uppercut, answered by a left cross from William. Right uppercut from William, glancing blow, didn't quite find its mark, and Holder returning to the jab. I think rather than leading with the jab, if I were Holder, I would lead with the cross and then follow with the jab or the hook. But I'm not the one in the ring. Bro. Oh, solid left landing by William. He's upping his tempo in terms of the power, showing more confidence here, putting Williams on the rope and looking for his opportunity. Williams fighting off the rope with a jab. He needs to work his way out of that corner. That right jab to the body by Williams. Position, but finds himself closer to the ropes again. Okay, nice combination there by Holden, finishing with a right hook. Now he's peppering with the jab, working his way off the rope. Williams walking him down. Body shot, but landing on the elbow by from Holder. Williams again walking down, but quite very slow the body shot. Right body hook by Williams, but just glancing. Now a left uppercut followed by a right hook from Holder. Body shot from Williams. The work rate seems to be diminishing from both athletes in this third round. Okay, and I said that, Holder throws another jab. Left body shot from Williams. Misses with the right hook. Left, left uppercut, right hook. Holder again. He's throwing, but not quite landing solid. Now he's in the corner. Williams working the body, keeping hold on the rope. Holder throws a right hook, but that lands on the glove. Back to the jabbing Holder. Right hook from Williams. Done! Referee call a break. Holder finishes with a jab and back overhand. Fatigue may be setting in on the athletes as the work rate seems to be slowing. But they are picking their shot, and shot selection is still working relatively well, although both punches are glancing off the elbow or the glove. Again, Holder's greatest success is coming with his straight punches, while Williams working the body shot, the body hooks, is having more success there. It's anybody's guess who will take away this win, as it's been pretty even exchanges throughout these 3 rounds. Fourth and final round of the bout. Athlete square off, Holder switches to orthodox stance, left cross to the body from Williams, and Holder switches back to orthodox again as Williams maintains the southpaw stance. There is a solid right hook to the body from Holder, but Williams is not backing down. He continues to move in, throws a left of his own, glancing, however, not much power in the now. Williams in the orthodox, Holder in the southpaw stance, changing between stances with Holder, and he gets caught with a nice combination from Williams, starting with the right hand, then a 1, 2, 3 combo following. Back to the jab is Holder. Nice left uppercut that lands, preceded by the jab, and now a right uppercut is Holder. He lands squarely with a left cross. I think his success is greater when he stays in the southpaw and uses that straight left. However, he is continuing to switch in between stances. Williams working his way in, looking for, there it is, that solid left hand, cleanly landing. Ben Holder worked out of the southpaw. Just landed 2 on Williams. William working in the orthodox, trying to work his way in, but that left cross is doing the work for Holder. William trying to work the body shot with the right hook, but glancing off the arm. Overhand left from Holder. Athlete squaring off, not much activity at the moment. There's the left again from Holder, glancing, however, and there's the right jab. Holder working the jab. William trying to walk him down. There's a body shot from William, as he has Holder in the corner, but he lets him out. Left cross from William, left body cross. Athlete squaring. There is the end of the final round. Pretty nice exchange towards the end. I would have to give a slight advantage to Holder as he's been landing quite evenly and repeatedly with that left cross. So I think that was his telling blow for the night. And William working the body with his hook, but I'm not sure he did enough to sway the judges in his favor, as his work rate was not as high when he got to the inside. But Holder definitely held his own on the outside using the jab and that straight left, and using the occasional uppercut on the inside. That was bout number 7 of the evening, cruiserweight professional bout. Daniel William of Zen Life Gym versus Tyrese Holder of Fort Hill Gym. Both athletes debuting as professionals this evening. We are now awaiting the judge's decision. Both athletes put on a pretty stellar performance for a professional debut. I think kudos to them both and to their coaches. We just have to await the decision of the judges. Again, in my opinion, the bout would go to Holder as he was more successful with his cross, landing that straight left or cross on multiple occasions, cleanly between the guard of William. William, however, did have some success on the inside, working the body hook and the occasional uppercut. When the bouts take this long to be called, it is usually a pretty close one. So I would suspect that it might be a split decision. We will wait to hear. We are coming from the Graydon Seeley Secondary School. This is the Howard Phillips Memorial Tournament, the 15th edition, being hosted by the Barbados Boxing Association. Graydon City Secondary School is quickly becoming the home for boxing competition in Barbados. This is, I believe, the sixth boxing card that's been put on at this venue, and it is becoming a staple of our boxing events. Coming up, the final bout of the evening, a welterweight bout between Nathan Walcott of Fort Hill Gym and Demeril Torp of Zen Life. Nathan being 19 years of age, Demeril 20 years of age. More details to come on that as we're still awaiting the decision of bout
All right.
number 7 or cruiserweight bout. Second professional bout of the evening.
Yep.
Again, um, then like cruiserweight bout of the professional. Yeah, the final bout of the evening, welterweight bout between Nathan Walcott of Fort Hill Gym and Demeril Thorpe of Zen Life. Nathan Walcott is a graduate as well of the 2022 Ohana Glove Over Guns project. He's an OECM silver medalist, a schoolboy bronze medalist. He also won a silver medal in the French Invitational in Martinique. A relatively accomplished boxer, and he's going up against Demeril Thorpe, who has five five amateur bouts under his belt, 4 wins and 1 loss. Nathan Walker is 19 years old. Demeril Thorpe, 20 years old. And our judge again for this bout will be Ian Jardine, WBC 35 referee.
And
Jazari Mears, co-commentator. He had to step away for a moment, but he's back and back in time for a very exciting bout. This is another debut, professional debut between Nathan Walker of Fort Hill Gym and Demeril Thorpe of Zen Life. Nathan is coached by Frederick Fields, Demeril Thorpe by Ronald Alves. This will be
our
Hurricane Walcott, we're told, and we will see whether or not he brings the fury of the hurricane or the eye of or the calm of the eye of the storm. You know, I expect um, going home now. I began very strict. It steps into the ring wearing blue and gold trunks. Pretty lengthy blue and gold trunks. We will see how he fares in his debut professional bout this evening. going to the rope and showing respect to the four sides of the ring. Another Barbadian. He has represented Barbados abroad in the OECS games, in the Schoolboys Championship, and in the French Invitational in Martinique. I guess he's the way to Barbados. We have general injuries, so we don't know what he'll be wearing. Maybe he'll be wearing Barbados colors. He doesn't have to wear the colors of rep country to be joining for her. Hey, chin.